All right, so we are here finally onto Forza Horizon 6. We're going to be taking a look at the performance that it does have on the 5090 plus the 9950X 3D. I'm going to show it on the screen right here. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and take a look at the settings that we're actually running here. So first of all, you can see we're playing at 4K here, 4K, and then we have motion blur off. I have VSync off as well, and I am also utilizing DLAA. So that's the only thing we have here. I did put sharpness up to 0.7 just because I want that extra sharpness, right? Frame generation is off, and then everything else is how it was before. Right, now we'll go to the graphics and performance here. I have everything on the extreme. It's not really a preset, but it's just extreme here. And then I did turn off screen space reflections and then turned on ray traced reflection because that is ray tracing, right? So the cars and every reflection should just look a lot better than it would have with screen space on, but you can see everything here is max. So let's go ahead and take a look and start counting the FPS here. I'm not gonna lie, I would have used my normal Riva tuner, but for some reason the game crashes every time I open up Riva tuner. I don't know what it is, I don't know why. So I went ahead and I found a workaround and enabled Steam overlay, so you can see it right there, which is not bad. But without further ado, let's just hop into this and just talk about the FPS here. You can see we're getting the low 80s here. This is DLAA with ray tracing on. So again, very, very good, right? Like a lot of games don't even allow you to get over 50 FPS. Let's take a look at Borderlands 4, for example. If you have DLAA on, with ray tracing and everything on, you're not getting over that 60 FPS at all. If anything, you're not even getting over 40 FPS on Borderlands. So being able to get 80 FPS here with the ray tracing on, you can see right there the reflections on the car looking really good. Very, very, very good. 1% lows dropping a little bit into the 60s down there, low 60s into the 50s right there, but it is to be expected. We're driving around in a very intensive area, it looks like, with all the trees and stuff like that, right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go drive through this area real quick. Yeah, you can see we're already going to be dropping down into that high 70s though, so it's not even into the lows of the 70s. So actually not bad at all. It is to be expected that we were going to drop, right? Driving through vegetation is very, very intensive on the GPU side, so this does make sense. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drive back up and get back to that road. We're going to do a race with DLAA, and then afterwards we're going to switch to quality. Then we're gonna see how much more of an FPS. Ooh, a little bit of a stutter right there. You guys saw that? That was the first stutter I've had since playing this game. Otherwise, it's been very smooth. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go to our first race with DLAA, and we're gonna see how it performs. Okay, guys, here we go into our first race here. VRAM looking like we're at about 17 gigabytes here. Doesn't make sense. Ooh, let me just cut right through these guys real quick. But let's take a look at the FPS here. Obviously, with a lot more things on the screen, we're going to be dropping into the 70s. But again, it feels very smooth. Very, very smooth. Also, I decided to do a street race, which is going to be very hectic. Okay, let me just rewind that. By the way, don't pay attention to my driving skills in these games. All right, I'm not the best driver when it comes to these games, but that does make sense. All right, we're not going to make any more mistakes after this. But we're in the we're getting 80s right there. I don't want to turn too much because this car actually is a little bit of on the drifty side, but getting that high, that's going to slow us down. That's fine. We should be able to get that here. Sometimes I like to play a little bit dirty, I'm not gonna lie. I hit into the cars and stuff like that just to try to get like leverage over them, right? But that's okay. We should be able to pass this guy. Honestly, I'm not even going to be trying to get first. Obviously, you want to get first. That's what it is. Actually, we're dropped to the low 70s right there. 1% low in the 50s. Understandable. Again, we are driving pretty fast. I'm not seeing any like ghosting. I see a little bit of ghosting. Now that I really think about it. Just a tiny bit. But this is native. Let's go here. Yeah, I should be able to catch up to this guy here. Still looking very good on the FPS here. I had to slow down just a tiny bit there. I didn't want to crash, but here we go. Okay. We're at the 70s right there, the low 70s here. Again, we have fast moving cars on the screen, so it does make sense. Oh no. Oh wait, I didn't think the race was going to be that quick. I actually could have came in first right there, but okay. Not bad. I actually did do pretty good holding up with DLAA right there in that first race. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to switch to DLSS quality, and then we're going to take a look at how that performs. Okay, so now we have DLSS quality on. Obviously, we should be getting a little bit higher on the FPS here. Immediately, you can see it is a little bit higher. Not too much, though. We are getting into the 90s now. We're going to go ahead and drive to the next street race, and then we're going to do a race in quality as well, and then see how it does. But guys, this game is very beautiful. When it comes to just the textures and stuff like that, obviously, it is a little bit softer than DLAA. Not too much though. It's not noticeably different at all, but it basically looks the same as native is what I'm trying to say here. It actually does look the same. Going through this area here, we're getting the mid 90s here. Going through this area, we just drop a little bit to the low 90s, but that's fine. We have a lot more on screen, so we should drop a little bit more here as well. Guys, I can't wait to explore this map, guys. Like, this game just looks so beautiful. And again, it looks very, very well optimized. It feels very smooth. I'm not seeing any more stuttering than the ones that just happened in the beginning. But no, this game, it looks like they did a really good job optimizing this. But again, they did have a lot of time with Forza Horizon 5. So they probably took what they learned from that game and obviously brought it here. I don't know what engine the game uses, but it's a very good engine, it seems like. Tree quality looking good, the street quality looking good, the reflections on the car looking immaculate there. Look at that. Very, very good. We're coming up to this race here. We're going to start the race and see how we do with DLSS quality right here. All right, here we go. Here we go. Acceleration on this car is actually pretty good, so we should be able to make our way close to the front here very easily. In the high 70s this time. Before we were getting low 70s, which is understandable. We have a lot of stuff happening here. Look at all these cars just hitting into me. It's not looking good. These cars are fast though. These cars are very fast. Let's see, can we get past here? Yes, we can. And again, we have good acceleration, so should be able to just get past this. By the way, the reason why I'm able to play this game so early and get you guys this footage is because I am on the premium version of the game, so we were able to get early access to everything here. Oh, that car, he tried it. You guys saw that? He actually tried it. This is crazy. Oh, it's all good here. Maintaining that lead, hopefully. FPS is looking good still. Ooh, got a turn here. Ooh, I almost messed up right there. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Almost messed up. But here we go. Low 80s, but again, we're not dropping from what I can see here into... Ooh, I missed the checkpoint. We gotta go back. You can't be missing those checkpoints. Look how close I was to the checkpoint too. This is ridiculous. But at least we're not dropping into the 70s anymore. Right, from right here at least. We're not dropping into the 60s. Obviously, we still get that 1% low being into the 60s, but not looking bad at all. I'm gonna turn here. Oh, I already did this street race. I did indeed do the street race. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. How did this guy catch up already? Was not paying attention, but he was on me that whole time. It's understandable. Okay, we should be able to turn here. If I remember correctly, this stretch was actually pretty long. So we should be able to break away. No, not at all. We're not breaking away. Into the high 90s there. I gotta turn here. Yeah, no, he's gonna... Ooh, I don't want him to pass me. I have to hit him to him just a tiny bit there. High 80s, low 80s now. But we have a lot of stuff again on the screen. It doesn't make sense. Let's take a little bit of a drifting there. Ooh. I don't even know if you would consider that drifting, but I hope I can pass this guy. Yeah, we can. Can we get first? Yes, we can. There we go. Barely got first, but that is how the game performs when you're racing with DLSS quality. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at performance. We're not going to race with performance. We're just going to go ahead and take a look at it. Okay, now we're going to look at DLSS performance here. Again, with the max settings that you can have. And you can see we're over that 100 FPS. That's what performance does. While the quality did drop just a tiny bit, it's not too noticeably different from what it is from DLA8 or DLSS quality. And I would not mind playing like this. But I also wouldn't mind playing on quality or DLAA without frame generation, right? But I think if you're going to be playing on the 5090, you should absolutely play with 2 times frame generation on DLAA or quality. That's what I would say here. But so far, it actually does look really good on performance here. I'm not going to take too long. I'm just going to drive just a little bit further here. I'm not going to take too long on performance. I'm going to see how everything looks here. Again, yeah, you can see just a tiny bit of dip in the textures here, but it's nothing too noticeably different, right? The game still looks very good at 4K. I wish I had an 8K monitor. I could do a showcase on the performance at 8K for you guys, but I do not have an 8K monitor. I just have that 4K 240. All right, here we go. Turn here. Okay, we're getting... So far, it looks like into... Oh, I missed a turn. So far, it looks like we're in the high 120s sometimes. But for the most part... Can I turn? Jeez. It looks like for the most part, we're in the high 119s, right? Into the low 120s. Which does make sense. If I turned on ×2 generation, we would absolutely get closer to that 240 FPS, right? But after this, we're going to go ahead and take a look at DLAA with ×2 generation and DLSS quality. And then we're going to turn on ×4 on quality just so we can hit that 240 FPS. And then we'll call it a day there. But so far, we're looking good on this right here. Honestly, we can do that now. We can go ahead and turn on DLAA. And then we'll look at ×2 frame generation. And we'll see how it goes. All right, here we go. With DLAA on now and ×2 frame generation, which again, this is how I would play. But obviously now turning on that frame generation, you can start to see the ghosting around the car. I don't know if you guys can see that. If you look at the left side of the car right there, the little black outline, it definitely is noticeable. But it's something that really isn't too noticeable, right? Because it's something that you would have to be going out of your way to look for to actually see it. But with 2 times frame generation on DLAA, it looks like the highest we're going to be getting is up into the 130s, but the low 130s, right? Obviously with DLSS quality ×2, you get a lot higher frame rate experience. Okay, going through here, 126 again. The reflections on the car is looking really good, right? Looking very, very, very good. We're almost at that destination. The 4.6 miles away. Driving through this area with a lot of trees and cars driving past. Doesn't look like we've been able to get into... Ooh, a lot of reflections on the ground as well. Look at that. Very nice. Very, very nice. It looks a lot better on my screen than it does on YouTube, obviously, because YouTube compresses things down. You actually don't see as well as I do, but it does look really good, guys. It does look really, really good. Okay, we're gonna go through here. After we get past this circle area, we're gonna turn on DLSS quality, and then we're still gonna maintain that ×2 frame generation. Then afterwards, we're gonna use ×4, and then we'll call it a day. So let's turn it on right now. All right, so with DLSS quality on here, you can see we're at that 138. Sometimes get into the 140. Yeah, 142 right there. Not bad. Again, if you wanted to get to that 240 FPS on your monitor, you could turn on the ×4. And you could definitely see your monitor being used to its fullest. Also, I'm not feeling anything too crazy with the latency. It feels very responsive, very good. Obviously, handling is a thing in this game, so you can't obviously turn like this, and feel extremely responsive, but for what it is, it does feel really good, guys. It does feel really, really good. But okay, it doesn't look like we're gonna get into the high 140s. Looks like we're gonna get into the mids. Oh no, we actually did get into the high 140s right there. Okay, we're gonna turn left here. Okay, not bad. Once we get into the mountainy areas, we should drop in FPS. We're 1.3 miles away. We're gonna turn on ×4 generation here, since we're already almost there anyway. Let's turn on the ×4 generation and see if we actually hit that 240. Let's see. Let's see right here. Did it change? Yeah, we actually did hit the 240. So if you guys want 240 FPS, turn on ×4. If you just want like a smooth gameplay experience, you could do ×2 on quality or DLAA. But for the most part, I think I'm going to be playing without any frame generation, because frame generation unfortunately does add a little bit of extra ghosting on a lot of the stuff in the game. But yeah, I'm going to end the video there. If you guys did enjoy this, be sure to hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know which GPU you guys are using, how you guys are liking the game so far. See you guys in the next one. Peace.